I've come to Evangeline's a lot. I used to live downtown, and I would always frequent this place, and it's much different at this hour than during the day. And we're right now just kind of getting a feel for the place. I'm here with Stephanie, our resident psychic. She joined me at the River City Saloon last week. Stephanie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah,
it's early.
It is. This is pretty cool being in here, first off, at this hour. There's no staff here. There's no people here. Normally this is packed, especially during Halloween, as you guys know. What are you sensing? Because right when we walked in, I told you that I felt a little bit uneasy walking up the stairs, and I did.
Yeah. So it was hard for me to do a reading. I was caught a little bit unawares this morning. I usually prepare a little bit. But on the drive down here, I sense a man.
Okay.
And it feels like a man that would be in keeping with this saloon, I guess. You said this was a saloon?
At one point it was.
So that's the kind of energy I'm picking up. Big bushy beard,
Okay.
a little bit unkempt.
All right.
Not a dapper man, and not happy that we're here. That's what I felt as soon as I walked in.
Well, we'll try to make friends with him throughout the next 2 hours. I just want to show you guys some pictures. This is typically what we do. You take some pictures of the area and you look for any abnormalities, and I'll just draw your attention to the bottom of the screen there. I'm not exactly sure what this little thing is on the chair, what that greenish orb is. Stephanie, what are these? Because some people would say it's an insect, it's a piece of dust, but what do you think?
I have made a little bit of a study of orb photography, and I couldn't possibly say with just a picture like this. The more definitive route for me is to watch it as it moves with video.
Right, which we caught at the River City Saloon.
Right.
Now, before we send it back to you guys, let's just take a walk back here. I just want to give you a lay of the land as we delve deeper into Evangeline's. It's very creepy when you're here by yourself in an area like this. This is one of the areas where the owner was saying that they have had some activity. Staff has been touched. They've seen things move around. And now this actually just said a word. Can you say that? Say again? This thing has not gone off the whole time I've been here, and it just went off in my pocket. This is the PX device. This is a device that they can use to manipulate words, and it's saying highway. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting. We're gonna have to listen to this and review our evidence from Evangeline's. We'll see you again in half an hour, guys.
What is that supposed to be picking up? I mean, a ghost talking to you? I mean, there's nothing in that could generate a sound, right? I mean, on its own, that's
correct.
Supposed to be an entity.
The PX device has pre-programmed words in it, so the idea of this is that if there is a spirit in our presence, and you can hear the words still coming out right now, that they can use this device. It just said metal for some reason, to speak words out. So yeah, this is one of the devices that we used at River City Saloon, and anytime we had a lot of activity around, we started to get something picking up on this.
All right, I think you said toss to commercial break. Just kidding, Jeff. I mean, you've told us some creepy stories about some of your experiences, especially from a week ago, so we're looking forward to more from you this morning. We'll talk to you.
Dale, I know you're a believer, just like Kiba.
Jeff, you made me a believer from everything that you discovered, from the photographic evidence to the divining rods and to the PX device on your last experience a week ago. That is what did it for me.
Well, we're here on the third floor. We actually moved from the second floor, and for those of you who are familiar with Evangeline's, during the day, this place is packed with people getting their Halloween costumes. And, you know, what a great opportunity for me to take care of that right now. What do you guys think? Can you see me as a captain of a, not bad?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of different options here. But anyway, getting back to our investigation that's currently underway, we have people spread out all throughout Evangeline's. It has 3 floors, and this is a building that, like many buildings in Old Sacramento, dates back to the 1850s. Part of the team that's out here is actually in the basement area, and that's where we're going to be in the 6 a.m. hour. But I want to bring in Jen. Jen is a manager of Evangeline's, and by the way, this PX device that we talked about the last half hour, it just continues to go off, giving us words here and there that apparently are from the other side. What was that? Yeah, sometimes it's hard to distinguish what they're trying to say. But Jen, can you tell us about some of the experiences that the employees have seen here?
They have mostly heard things, or things have moved, but it's like it's behind you or out of the corner of your eye, that kind of thing. Or they've heard footsteps upstairs when they're positive there's no one up here, that sort of thing.
Have you had anything happen here?
I have not myself, no.
Okay. Now, just giving people a history of this building, it has served a number of purposes dating back to the 1850s. Even in the 1970s, second and third floor used to be a disco club, right?
Right, that's right. It was D.O. Mills. It was a bank-themed restaurant and bar. This is their bar that they put in, actually, right here. And the disco floor used to be right over there.
Yeah, you see, we still have some items on the wall here that would kind of remind you of those days from the 70s. But Evangeline's is a real cool place to visit, whether it's for a paranormal investigation that we're doing right now. This thing is just continuing to go off. I'm going to listen to it one more time. Can you guys make out any of that?
No, but somebody really wants to have a conversation with you there.
Well, it's
All
every
right.
time I start talking, it starts going off, and then once I actually put it on the spot. Well, you're on live TV now. What did you want to say? Thigh Master. It's saying that I need to use a Thigh Master, I guess.
Well, Jeff, I mean, really, these places that are haunted, a lot of times there's a story behind it, so they know who the entity is. I mean, maybe someone who died there. Do they have any idea who this ghost is? I mean, is there because what used to be a saloon, maybe somebody who was, died in a shootout.
Well, I tell you
or
what,
something?
we do have that psychic who is here with us, Stephanie, and she, when she walks into a place, she senses people, and she sensed a man on the second floor who apparently was dropping a lot of F-bombs around us, saying that all he wanted was some whiskey. And that's all he cares about. He doesn't want us here. He just wants some whiskey. So we let him have his whiskey and came up here to the third floor. And now we're about to go to the basement area, which I'm very excited about because I have never been down there. That's off limits to the public.
And you've probably been to Evangeline's. Thousands of people have, but Jeff is going to be taking us to a place where we have never been before there.
Yeah, Jeff, what have you seen so far?
We've got some interesting evidence, Kiva, but first I want to direct your attention outside because we've had some folks show up who found out that we were here, and they specialize in cleansing negative energy. And they told us that they detected a lot of negative spirits in this area that we were investigating, so they wanted to come out here and give us a blessing of sorts. So they are out there now, and they have quite the setup. And I'm getting a lot of incense blowing through the front door. So hopefully that helps get any negative energy out of here. Now, what we are doing now is we're going into the basement area of Evangeline's. This is an area that the public is not allowed to access, and the paranormal team that is with us, watch your head, is down here investigating at the moment. What I have in my hand here is an EMF detector. If I hold it down like that, it detects any electromagnetic energy. See, when we walk through an area, sometimes it may detect a light fixture, or it could present evidence that we're about to come across something paranormal. It is very creepy walking back here in the dark. This is a building that dates back to the 1850s and has served a number of purposes. And I'm looking for my guys. Is that you over there? Yeah, oh, you're over there. Okay, it's hard to see over there. That's Charlotte and her colleagues. And right away, I want to show you guys some of the evidence that both of you captured on what's called the spirit box. So if you can just, first, just to give you an idea what the spirit box is, this is something that scans radio frequencies at a rapid rate. And if you can turn this on just to demonstrate for them how it works.
Just push on the power button. Then
Okay.
from there, you would do the forward sweep.
Right?
And it's going to go through all the stations, but you ask questions and you will get responses.
Okay, let's ask a question right now. Is there anyone here with us right now? Can you tell us your name? Now, what was that just now? Was that someone trying to come through, or was that from the radio?
Sometimes it scans so fast through the radio that you can't really do anything. It's just kind of like a noise.
Yeah.
But when words come across through that, then that's when you're getting a lot of evidence and a lot of activity. Like
Wow,
earlier,
this is interesting. This is interesting. Now, can you turn that off? Because I want to show you a clip that you caught while you were down here about an hour ago. You asked a question using that device, and it seems that someone answered.
Yes, and let me turn it on right now. And first of all, we were using the spirit box,
Right.
SB7 spirit box. When we started asking questions, we
You
heard the
asked,
same noise.
"Where
and
are
then
we?"
Where are we?
Can you play that
And
for us?
it said, if you guys can hear it first.
Where are we at right now?
Basement is what it sounded like. We're in the basement of Evangeline's, and if you ever come here for your Halloween costume or at any point during the year, you know that you're not allowed down here. This is for the staff only, and even the staff feels uncomfortable back here. There's a lot of storage, a lot of costumes back here, but according to the people who work here, also spirits that for whatever reason are stuck here or like being here. We've got Stephanie, our resident psychic, who's out here, and she's been kind of roaming around through this 3-story building, and you were telling me that you did just have something happen to you on the second floor.
Yeah, the second floor where we had gone earlier. It's a dressing room, I believe. I sat in there for about half an hour by myself in the darkness and just tried to communicate. I asked for some knocking, and I did get some responses a couple of times.
You heard some knocking.
Yep. And it was more than just settling. It was very similar to what we got when we heard those boxes move at the other spot.
Yeah.
Like that, popping almost.
Well, that's another place we should go check out after this. And I should say we had a viewer reach out to me on Twitter saying that at one point she was here shopping and had her hair pulled. I'm here with Charlotte with California Haunts, and we're doing a couple of things. This is the spirit box where it scans through radio frequencies, and apparently they can speak through this. It scans through several channels at once. So if you pick up a sentence or even really a full word, that's kind of inexplainable because of how fast it scans. Is there anyone here with us right now? Can you speak to us through this? You hear voices. It's hard to distinguish what they're saying sometimes. I want to show you these divining rods. This is something that we used last week at the River City Saloon. It's where they can answer yes or no questions, right, Charlotte?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do a session here. Apparently you're communicating with someone that you said is named Penelope?
Yeah, one of our psychics had a dream of a woman named Penelope here at Evangeline's, and she gave me the information, and so apparently we're in contact with her. So Penelope, are you here? Cross the rods for yes. Thank you very much. Can you move the rods back into neutral for me? Thank you. Penelope, I understand that you came from Colorado. Is that true? Yes. Did you have okay, return to neutral for me. Thank you. I know you're excited. Did you have a boyfriend that you came out here with?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really interesting stuff. You know, I used those for myself in the stairwell of the River City Saloon, and then picked up some interesting activity right before I caught a picture on my cell phone of what looked like a woman. So, you know, whether you're a believer or not, certainly Old Sacramento has a lot of history. Here, you can keep that for now. That dates back to the 1850s. There's been a lot of tragedy here, and certainly this is an area that rose up above that tragedy. I'm referring to the floods of the 1850s when they actually literally had to rebuild the original Sacramento. And in this area back here, you can see the original brick. We're at the original level of where Sacramento was at before they rebuilt that, along with the levees after those devastating floods. So it shouldn't be a surprise, you know, to a lot of people that, you know, there are spirits out here. And we want to wish everybody a happy Halloween who's watching. It's been very interesting. I'm going to continue this investigation. We'll post any evidence that we catch on news10.net. We'll send it back to you.
Well, you know what I think what's interesting about those rods is that you can hold them and they're still until you ask a question. I mean, it's not like they're constantly moving. They seem to be still until you ask a question and expect a response, and then they move. That's kind of freaky.
Right, and you know, I think Rob is a bit of a skeptic, so you may want to talk to him about those rods, because he was telling me, well, maybe they're picking up water beneath us. You know, that may be the case in some spots, but certainly at the River City Saloon when I was on the stairwell and it was responding to our questions, I'm not sure if that can be explain. But it's always good to have people with different beliefs and
Oh,
viewpoints.
sure, yeah.
Right, but it is interesting though. They only move after you ask a question, like you were saying, not just randomly.